So next demonstration is going to cover how you can set up a learning module. I'm on the Build tab, and I'm going to click on the Learning Modules button. I do not have any learning modules right now, and what a learning module does is basically it's like a book of different files that comprise a presentation. It's almost like different pages, each of which kind of helps build knowledge on a certain topic. So if I were going to create a learning module, I would click on my learning module button, click the Create Learning Module, and I might do a Welcome to St. Scholastica or Welcome to CSS. And this is that's just going to be the name of my learning module. And I like the defaults because what this default does is it takes me into the first page of content. Instead of a list, I get the actual page of content. So I'm going to save that. And now I have my learning module. Now, right now, this is just like the skeleton of my learning module. So to actually build pages on this now, I'm going to click on this Welcome to CSS because that's a learning module now. And now you see all the tools here that I'm going to use to build the learning module. I can add a file. I can add a content link, like if I wanted to put in my a discussion, or if my syllabus were linked here, I could do that. I can create things. I'm going to start by adding a file. And it lets you browse for a file. It lets you create a file. I'm going to start by creating a file. And I'm going to enable my HTML creator because that'll let me add like an image. And since the name of my module is Welcome to CSS, I'm going to title my first page Welcome. And now in this page, the HTML creator, I'm going to go get a nice picture. So here we have some images here. And I'm trying to find a good picture. Here's CSS Arial. Okay. So I'm going to give it some alternate text when I add a picture in. This is one of the more complicated assignments of the week. So if anyone has questions, don't hesitate to ask. So here's the picture. It's inside my learning module. I'm going to select it and center it so it looks a little better. And I'm going to now type in some text. So you can just assume that I would type in whatever was relevant content to my learning module, and then once I was done, I can use the HTML creator to make my text more attractive. I could give it a red heading. I could make the font bigger, things like that. I can make changes to my text using this HTML editor. And then when I'm done and I'm happy with my page, I'm going to save it. So now what you see is, here's the first page in my learning module. Now I'm ready to add another page to my learning module. So let's say I wanted to add the St. Scholastica web page. I would click on, I'll do it again, because I would click on Add Content Link for this. I'm going to click on Add Content Link, and I can go down to Web Link, and I can create a web link. And my new web link is going to be the College of St. Scholastica homepage. So then I just simply need to enter the web address, which I know by heart, of course. It's pretty easy, www.css.edu. I'm going to just leave it like that, and then I am going to save it. And now I have 2 pages in my learning module. So you can see you're building a book page by page. And now let's say I wanted to add another file, and let's say for the sake of what's probably typical for you is, say you want to add a file you already created, like a PDF file or something. So I'm going to add a PDF file, and I'm going to add perhaps my welcome letter. Now this welcome letter is in my class file area right here. So I'm going to add that PDF welcome letter, but I could just as easily go to my local computer and find a file that I had saved on there too. So that's just wherever you want to get your file from, you can do that. After you select the file, then you say OK, and now you have another item in your learning module. Now let's say I don't really like this little file activity mentioned there, so I'm going to edit the properties of that title. What I do is, you've noticed this before, this action link arrow. If I click on it, I get some options. One of them is to edit the properties of that, and the property I want to edit is the title. I'm going to say a welcome message to you will be this title. And I'll save it. And now I have 3 items in my learning module. Finally, let's say the last item I wanted to add, because you'll notice you could add a PDF, you could create a file, you can add a web page. Now I'm going to add a discussion, a class discussion area. I'm going to link it right to that class discussion where you can go and you can introduce yourself. So I'm going to click on Introductions and say Add Selected. And now that's the 4th and final item in my learning module. So now my learning module is done, and I am going to go to the Teach tab and preview it. So to do that, I'm just going to click on Teach, and then I can click on Learning Module, and here's my learning module. I can preview it from here to see whether I like it and to see how it's looking. And sure enough, here it is. The ways I can browse this module now is there are some arrows. There's a green arrow up at the top that would allow me to page through. And there's also at the left, there's a table of contents. So the student can navigate in a learning module either one of those ways. So the next page I'll just navigate by clicking on here. And here's my welcome letter. And then the final page in my learning module is going to that discussion area that we set up. So this is just taking a minute to come up, but here comes my PDF file that has a welcome message. And then finally, the student could go to that last page and participate in the discussion by creating a message. So that concludes the demonstration on how to set up a learning module. I will stop this archive and navigate away from this. So any questions? Okay, then I'm going to just stop the archive.
No.